Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings. Happy Sunday if you are watching this as I am uploading it, and if you're watching it on any other day or whenever you are watching it, because these are timeless readings. Happy whatever the day is for you in your location, wherever you are on our beautiful planet, and at whatever time. Now, this is a reading that I post every Sunday, but they are timeless, so you can go onto the homepage and either check out the playlists or find a reading at any time if you need an immediate message, something that you need to hear right now, and also information about how this is going to evolve and manifest in the next 7 days. We always look on a Sunday at the week ahead as well. We just see what comes through for you. Now, it looks to be astrologically quite an intense week, but whenever you come to these readings, if you've been guided to them, I always think trust your intuition. One of these readings will be speaking to you, I am sure. Now I'm going to draw charms and runes as well in just a moment, but right now let me show you these 3 cards, and let me also welcome you. Welcome if you are new, welcome if you are returning. And also, if you are new and you are not yet subscribed to this beautiful community, don't forget to subscribe and press the little bell icon as well if you want to make sure you never miss a reading as soon as I upload them. So, we have 3 piles, and pile 1 has the card Go Dark. This is card number 37, Go Dark. Pile 2, you have card number 6, Transform Your Thoughts. And for pile number 3, card number 3, we have card 25, Kick Up Your Heels. This is for pile 3. Okay. I often say, if the energy is sparkling at the beginning of the readings, there's a really curious energy here. I don't know quite how to describe it. I'm fascinated to know what you guys are picking up on. Let me know in the comments. Okay, let's draw your charm for each of the readings. I'll put a little counter here so you can see them easily if you're kind of pressing the pause button or watching the video a little bit longer to decide which pile you want. And I'm going to do a charm and a rune. So pile 1. You have Kano, the rune of openings. And your charm is a bird. Beautiful little bird. So that's pile 1. Pile 2. We have Gibo. This is the rune of partnership or a gift. And then we have a dragon. Very beautiful. We have a dragon. That's amazing. Gorgeous little charm. Pile 3, you have the blank rune. Look at that, would you? You've got 2 hearts. You've got one gigantic heart and then a smaller one that I think will sit in the middle. I reckon that's right. Yeah. You have 2 hearts. I'm blown away by that. You have 2 hearts and the blank rune for pile 3. Kick up your heels. Okay, how lovely. Right. Beautiful, beautiful energy, beautiful cards. We will see what comes through at a time when, gosh, the astrology is monumentally interesting. Yeah, there is an interesting energy here. Not quite sure what we're going to see or what will come through in your readings. I'm going to leave the video running just a little bit longer. I always do this just to give you a bit more time. Sometimes you may find that you are drawn to more than one reading. It could in one pile be the card, or in another it could be the charms or a rune. if you find you're drawn to more than one reading, there is almost certainly a message in both, and it may well be worth checking them out. Beautiful souls, I'll leave the video running, and if you need even more time, you can always press the pause button. I will see you in the readings in just a moment. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. You have the beautiful little bird, Kano, the rune of openings, which is a very, very profound energy. And you also have Go Dark. I'm going to draw your oracle cards first. But when I have done so, I'm actually going to read to you from the book. I don't always do this, but these are the writing for these cards is really beautiful. And this card in particular, I feel, because at the time of doing this reading, astrologically, we are looking at a week ahead that looks a bit intense. There's quite big stuff going on. Kano is a rune of openings. It's like a new dawn, something really quite magical potentially being open, but you may have to sort of almost like look into the shadows to see it. Now, I'm not going to say too much more. Let's draw your cards first. Let's really see what's happening and what is the message you need to hear now, and then we will look at the week ahead as well. So I'm seeing this and this, and also this. It's this one. Okay. May we kindly ask for a message for pile 1 that they need to hear now. Thank you. And I'm going to draw your tarot cards as well. We'll see what we turn over. Oh, they are turning over. Okay. Okay. Your cards are just flying out. Okay. Pile 1. I'm seeing this and I'm seeing this one. Actually, those two as well. And also it's this one. Okay, so those have not shown themselves, and these 3 have, which I think is really interesting. Let's turn over your oracle cards. So you have authority and 10th house authority, and you have Uranus change. How are we going to place these? Let's have a look and see. We have Mercury, Mercurius, we have smoke, and we have the great work. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, where shall we place your cards? How are we going to do this? We have Uranus, change and authority. The great work is really connecting with me for this card. Let's run these along the top for you. And let's just look at the 3 cards that showed themselves. You have Judgment. Very interesting in this pack. I always think the Judgment card looks a little bit like the Death card, because we've got lots of kind of little skeletons running around. We have, it's interesting, look at this. We have a couple together here in this. Can you see in this Death card we have a couple? And we have the 6 of Wands, which is a card of celebration, success, public success actually. But also in this particular 6 of Wands, again, we see a couple. Okay. And then we have the King of Wands, who is very much, this is a card of wow, I mean, this is someone who's at the top of his game. He knows what he's doing. Go dark. I will now read to you from this, about this card. So we are on 37. Let's see where we are. 37, go dark. Very interesting that I saw the little swift at the top, and here we have the little bird, the swift or the swallow again. Right, this card says, your darkness is not your enemy. It can seem scary, but it's where new life grows and develops. You do too. This moment calls you to be willing to be with your own darkness. It asks you to embrace your dark as your beloved ally. Cradle your uncertainty. The dark night of the soul holds secrets for you that you wouldn't be able to see in the brightness of glaring certainty. Poet Mary Oliver spoke about a box of darkness as a priceless gift in her life. When the dark surrounds us, we come to know ourselves as the light. Chaos, crisis, and suffering want to give you a new understanding of who you really are beyond who you always thought yourself to be. Smoke. Smoke and mirrors, the great work. Now, it could be that the great work is referring to you. You are the great work. And look at something on your little finger, your little pinky finger here. I feel like something is available to you. It's an opening. Now, some of you, I think, will know what this is, and others may just be either waiting for it or hoping it will come. We'll find out more when we look at your cards. But I think that there is an opening. Kano is absolutely like a new dawn. So this is not a small opening. It could even seem like a small step. But it's leading to something big, the great work. But somehow you don't believe in it. It's like you don't believe in the possibility of it. I think you're reading with the Judgment card as well. Judgment is about being discerning. I think this is about seeing through the illusion of your own limitations, which is why you need to look into the shadows. You have a song to sing. You are a great work. You are the great work in many ways. But you have a song to sing. You have something to communicate. A presence to be in the world. 6 of Wands to be publicly seen or heard. There is something for you to bring forth. And somehow, it's like you don't quite believe that you can do this. Now, Uranus is about sudden changes, and the energy of Uranus wakes us up. Uranus is the great awakener. Maybe you feel like this is too big a mountain to climb, or it's something you really want, but you can't quite allow yourself to believe it. It's almost as though with the Judgment card, which I feel does look like the Death card, do you know what came into my mind was like having a death wish. And I don't mean that you're, longing to not be here, but like, almost like, what this is sort of saying is, look, you can decide that it isn't going to work. Or you can decide that it is. You can decide that you can't have this. Or you can decide that you can. It's like, it's something that I think it's a huge opening. In a way, the real great work, and I think this is the message you need to hear right now, the real great work is you. It's you liberating yourself from anything that makes you feel like you can't do this, or you can't have this, or you can't overcome it. Just this little pinky finger keeps really standing out to me. Let's look at the rest of your tarot cards, and I'm very intrigued to see how this might evolve in the week. So we have the 7 of Wands. Okay, now this is a card of envy, actually, sometimes. Let's put this up here. Okay, and the Ace of Pentacles. Let me move this along a little bit, make a little bit more space. How can we place your cards? We have the 7 of Cups. Ooh, so there's a lot of choice around you this week. Okay. We have the 10 of Wands. We have the Page of Wands. Oh, that's a nice shift in energy there. From the 10 to the Page. Very lovely shift. Then we have the Eight of Cups and the Justice card. How interesting, you have Judgment and Justice. Okay, now, I think the very first message that you need to hear is that anything is possible. Mercury, this is what this is about. Now, there can be some trickster energy around you with Mercury. But I do feel like this seems to have more of a flavour of your own mind playing tricks on you than of this coming in on the outside. I mean, there could be fears around what other people think with the Seven of Wands. If you take the choice, the opening that you can take, if you embrace this decision, this thing that is very life-changing, that you would really, really, really like, if you step through that opening and follow through, because this is like an opening that feels like it calls to your soul, okay? Now, if you step through and follow through with something that is calling to your soul, which is a pretty amazing thing to do, and that would be very much in alignment with the radicalness of the energy that's around at the moment. It's a big departure with the Eight of Cups from, I think this is as well is it's a very big departure from what would be your, the usual for you. And you are being asked to believe in this possibility. Look at the promise in the Ace of Pentacles. Ta-da! It's like, whoa, and this can be on display. And I do think it's your own inner critic, your own inner fears or judgments that stop you from embracing this. This would be like taking something or going on a journey or stepping through a gateway or a door that is, such a departure from anything you have ever done before. And I think with the Seven of Cups as well, it's also about, how do you evaluate? It could be like setting forth on an adventure rather than staying safe, really, in something that you're familiar with. With the Ten of Wands followed by the Page. I mean, this is a really interesting progression where we move from the energy of the Tens, which feels like almost being burdened by responsibility. And then the Page of Wands is like shifting to that place of absolute creativity, that spark, that magic. And it is very interesting because in a way the high vibration message of the Ten of Wands is actually that you're being called to liberate yourself from some kind of a restriction or a burden. My dearest Pile 1, I actually think that there is something literally kind of calling to you at a level of soul. It matters to you. It sings to your heart rather than the material stuff. It's all about quality, not quantity, but whatever this is, I think your reading is ever so clear for you. The message is clear, which is the message you need to hear, which is to see through the illusion and, ditch the judgments. I think this week there's a decision to make. Ditch the judgments, remove the criticism, travel down into your darkness and love it. Love those thoughts that say, I'm not good enough, because actually in a way they bring you humbleness. But also have a conversation with those thoughts and say, actually maybe it's time we laid this to rest and embraced all that life has to offer, or this new thing that life has to offer. How will we know if we don't step out there? I feel like there's almost a conversation to be had with yourself. And Mercury is all about, that's what the pinky finger is. I kept sort of thinking, why is this pinky finger really speaking to me? But what's it trying to say? In your reading, Look at the golden nugget on the pinky finger. You know, this is your little finger. I think this goes back to something that happened when you were little. Perhaps you grew up in a family where people were envious of your potential. You know, you're a great work. I think you're amazing. I think you have a spark about you. You know, you can climb mountains. I think that people envied you as a child, and that may mean that you were put down, or somebody, anything you wanted might have been diminished, whether that was like subtly or whether it was done in a very overt way. I remember actually having a conversation with somebody who was telling me about a very dear friend of theirs who had won an award, and you know, it was I think it was in a like some kind of like it was at a school age, and she had won an award, but it was like the award was given to her for the one who had made the most effort, rather, you know, she hadn't won the top of the class, she hadn't won the gold or the silver of as such, but she got the award that said, you have tried so hard, and you know, and your progress is amazing. It wasn't just it wasn't patronizing, it was very much, you know, you have put more effort in, and you have achieved because of this, and we're so proud of you. It was that kind of an award. And her father made a comment about to her. He didn't sort of big her up for her efforts, but and it wasn't done in a like really overtly putting down way, and he may not even have been aware of it, but he kind of brushed it off as being like a consolation prize because you know, because I don't know, it was just, I can't remember the exact words, but you get the gist of it. So it could even be there's been something that's always sort of like said, you'll be in the shadows. Of course, yes, in the dark. You know, almost as if you were told that your place would never be at the front of the house. It would always be in the shadows. And actually, it's time for you to shine and to own your own authority and to climb the tallest mountain you could possibly ever dream of. And maybe that's what's in front of you. Maybe there is something that would be a really big and tall mountain for you. But actually, you can do this. And it's time to embrace all of the spark and the magic that is you. But if you travel into your shadows and have that conversation with perhaps even the little you, remind the little you that that was then and now is now, and you were always amazing. Always amazing. And now it's time to leave behind anything that says you're not, and leave behind any beliefs or orientations around it that it isn't safe to shine. It's time for you to climb whatever that mountain is for you, and let's make it the biggest and best mountain you could possibly ever dream of. And that, I think, that shift within yourself, if there isn't an opening already in front of you, I think there will be, and this shift within you is about saying yes to this. And also, if there isn't an opportunity for the biggest dream of your life right in front of you now, I would suggest that you have that conversation with yourself anyway, because the shift in the energy will then create the space and possibility for the universe to deliver that opening to you. Pile 1. This is your reading. It is truly an honour to read for you. I am thrilled to be here, to be connected with you all. I'm sending you all the love in the world. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, as always, for liking and sharing and subscribing. Don't forget to press the little bell icon if you want to make sure you never miss a reading. Thank you for your comments, for giving back through the super thanks, and for those of you who are members and support the channel that way, whether it's here on YouTube or on Patreon. Thank you, all of you. Tons and tons of love, Pile 1. Pile 2, welcome to your reading. You have transformed your thoughts. And Gibo, a gift, or sometimes the rune of partnership, and a dragon. The dragon is really interesting. What a fascinating energy to have show up. Let's draw your cards first before we dive in. And we are asking for a message you need to hear now, and we're also going to check in on the week ahead. Okay. Okay. I'm going to read to you about this card as well in just a moment, actually. Using these two. And let's draw your tarot cards as well. May we kindly ask, gosh, I'm seeing like all these just coming out in one go, and these two, and these three. Okay, loads of cards coming out. It's interesting they've kind of come out in two piles. I'm going to kind of leave them like that and just see where we go with that. Okay, we have Benevolent Guide, Spiritus Rector. We have Chiron, lots of healing energy, and Dissolution. Wow. Now, the energy around at the time of doing this reading, and I guess the energy around you, or you wouldn't be drawn to this reading, is one where something is dissolving here. Transform your thoughts. It could be literally a thinking pattern that is dissolving. You have Scorpio, Investigate, and Libra, Balance. Yeah, you're needing to bring something back into balance here. Gosh, what is dissolving here? I'm going to read to you from this book before we continue with your tarot cards. So we have card 6. Okay, transform your thoughts. Your thoughts have power. They can carry you to all sorts of places, ones you adore and ones you despise. This moment is asking you to revise your situation by renewing your thoughts about it. Your current reality was shaped by your thoughts, whether conscious or unconscious. The good news, since reality is influenced by thought and a thought can change in a snap, so can your reality. Seek to become conscious of the thoughts you want to keep alive and the ones that need to be transformed. When you nourish thoughts of loving self-care and practice allowing what is rather, allowing, and practice allowing, rather, right, I'll read that again. When you nourish thoughts of loving self-care and practice allowing what is allowing what is rather than resisting it, your heart can take flight and your reality is sure to follow. Something is dissolving or needs to be dissolved. Perhaps it is a thought. Now, Chiron is about healing. I love this card of Benevolent Guide with this beautiful bee. So something can be worked through. Something needs to be brought back into balance. We have Investigate. I'm actually going to look at these cards. I'm going to pop these ones to one side. You have Page of Wands and you have Ace of Swords. You have Strength. You have the Five of Cups. You have the Chariot and you have the King of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. Something has disappointed you. You're being asked to leave. You're needing to dissolve or leave something behind. Something that knocked you off balance. This is like an invitation through the power of your mind to re-engage with possibility. Something really gave you, it was like a sting in the tail. It hurt you very deeply. Scorpio energy is very, very deep, very emotional. The Dragon energy. What else do we have? We have Ace of Wands. Okay. We have King of Swords. We have the Devil. Yeah, you need to cut some cords here. We have the, yes you do, with the Page of Swords. And then we have the Two of Wands. There's your last card. Okay, yeah, look at you back up on stage. Do you know, it is so interesting that some of the, in the more traditional packs, I think it's the new Mythic Tarot pack, the Two of Wands actually has a picture of Chiron in it. Chiron coming out of the cave. It's time for you to come alive again in some way. Something has been, I kind of just want to say something's been doing your head in. It's like with the dragon, you need to breathe fire back into your life in some way, shape, or form. Put down those negative thoughts. Really embrace what is possible with the Ace of Wands. But this requires determination. This requires strength. I think something has really got to you. Now, whether whatever got to you has happened with like a big event or something that took place, or whether this is something that actually this has just taken place over time, where gradually there's been one thing after another thing, after another thing, after another thing, and you have never been able to properly pick up and recover. It's almost like every time you step forward, something else has shown up. But it's led to this kind of situation, my lovely pile twos. And I voice this because of sort of saying that, I think this happens to the best of us. This really can happen to the best of us. At the end of the day, if enough things go wrong in anyone's life, you're going to kind of collapse a bit. You're going to, dissolve. What you think is real is going to dissolve. But I in my counselling work, if I put my therapy hat on, I used to say to people, if you have, let's say you've got different pockets of life. So you have your home life, like, the physicality of your world, you have your relationships, the people immediately around you, and that you can break down again into like family, partner, whatever, friendships. And then you have, your working world. But all of these areas, wherever if let's say if one thing goes wrong in one of those areas, then kind of the other areas that are stable will still support you. But let's say you're actually moving house, even if it's a joyous thing, or you're moving house, but it's quite stressful. And then suddenly your best friend, decides they don't like you anymore. I'm just making up silly examples. But basically, and then at work you have a difficult encounter with a colleague or something like this. At the end of the day, it's like gradually the different areas of life, if each one of those is like a foundation stone in your world, something of your solidity, with the King of Pentacles, something with your solidness, then as one thing dissolves or collapses, the others support you. But if all of them go down at once, it's like, if something gets wobbled in every single area of your life, you kind of think, what's real? Am I on solid ground? And I feel that's sort of what the energy is that I'm picking up. I don't think it's been one thing. I think it's been loads. Look at all these butterflies. There's loads of them. And I think one thing has led to another and led to another and led to another. And for some of you, there will be things that pressed your buttons and reminded you of childhood stuff. But you're being asked to investigate with Scorpio, to really look at your thoughts here and try to sort of almost transform them, even one by one. Just one by one, transform them. And you're going to need to be quite firm with yourself as well, because also when we get into patterns of negative thinking, where we really feel things aren't working and they're not failing, they're failing rather, and they're just not working, we can get into that mindset where it just feels like everything's piling in on you. Whereas if you sort of identify those different bits and then think, right, actually that bit is now over, I can put that down. And then you identify another bit and you think, that bit's now over, I can put that down. There's something here about really moving through, I think, a period where quite a lot of things have gone wrong. There could even have been one event that was the catalyst, and then somehow subsequently it's been really hard to get your head above water. You're being asked to really notice your thoughts, investigate your thoughts, recognize the ones that had a bit of a sting in the tail, but also transform. Take a balanced perspective, recognize that actually, if something happened that was challenging, that it doesn't mean that your whole life will be challenged forever. That there's definitely some thinking to be processed here. And also for some of you, that the devil is a card of addiction. And some of you may have ended up sort of coping with how you were feeling with some form of addiction, or you may even find that you've got sort of entrenched almost in addictive thinking patterns, but they're keeping you stuck. It's really time to shift, actually. And this is the message you're needing to hear right now, which is about shifting yourself into balance through the almost like the analysis and awareness of your thoughts and letting them go. Dissolving them, knowing that they are no longer relevant to you now. That is what we are seeing here. And I'm so sorry that there's been, I think for most of you, I think it's not just one thing. One thing might have been the catalyst, but I think it's been a series of things. I'm even hearing, Dragon's Den. Maybe you approached something or wanted something or tried to go for something and it has just dissolved or crumbled. If that is the case, then there will be something more because you have benevolent guide. If something hasn't worked, it is because there will be something better and you will be guided to find that something better. You're going to be guided to the honey. You're going to be guided to the nectar. I am wondering how this week is going to be for you, and if there is information we can get about not just about shifting your thoughts, but really let's say if you do shift your thoughts, if you just choose to do that, because this is sort of saying it's having the strength to do this, being really clear with yourself with the King of Swords, really crystal clear with yourself. This is a time when you can really refine your passion, your creativity, your spark for life and move something forwards. I'm curious as to what you might be, how that might arrive if you really shift your thoughts, whether we can be given any information, how will the universe support you, what can we know about this? I'm seeing this and, this. I'm seeing those two. This one at the base and this one. Gosh, you're getting a lot. Two came out there. You're getting a lot of cards. My lovely pile twos. Loads. Maybe there are loads of opportunities coming. So you have the High Priestess. Right. Well, for starters, you're absolutely going to be guided. If you can shift your thoughts. Oh gosh, followed by the Sun. Okay. If you can shift your thoughts, I actually feel like the universe and your guides and your angels are literally waiting on the periphery to offer you things that are going to be so much bigger and better with the King of Pentacles than whatever it is previously that hasn't worked out, especially with the Sun. But it's almost as though for the universe and your guides and your angels to say, here we go, we're going to give you this gift. Here's a gift for you, off you go. You've kind of got to be open to receiving it. And I feel like at the moment there's a closed-inness around you, which is why something needs to be brought back into balance. Though the universe wants to bring you back into balance, I also hear. We have the Sun. We have the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups. Oh, wow. Okay. We have the Ten of Wands. We have the Eight of Swords. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. We are being shown all kinds of different gifts here. So I think for some of you, there has been a disappointment in love. We have the Ace and the Two of Cups. If this is the case, if love has been your nemesis, then this is the thinking area that you're needing to work on. If you have been really disappointed, let down within relationship, this is your nemesis. This is the area that you need to shift your thinking in. You will be guided, and new love, the Sun, Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, this is the spark, the vitality, the universe blessing you. This is your blessing. This is your happiness. So you'll be guided and you'll be given the blessing. For some of you, it's love. Now, for others, if you have been overloaded, burdened by responsibility, you're in a dead-end job where you're doing more than you should, and you haven't been able to exit something, or indeed you've wanted more responsibility but also support. I mean, really what I'm seeing is some area of your life where you felt very alone and as if the support is never going to be there. And this could be in your working world with the Eight of Pentacles. But it could also be, the work that you do, as in like in the daily grind almost, maybe you have lots of responsibilities, obligations, but you have felt very pushed out, isolated, as if there's no help for you, very trapped by a situation maybe for some of you. Whatever that is, you'll be given what you need to be able to literally work your way through this. You may even be given, with the Eight of Pentacles, resources, money, physical support. If there's a health issue here, burdened by this, you'll be given, the energy, the vitality. So I see these two different areas, both with relationships specifically, because this does indicate partnership, but also any area of your world where you have felt burdened, stuck, trapped, like you can't move forward, you're never going to be able to work your way out of this, and you're entrenched in that thinking pattern that this is never going to be possible for you. This could even be lifting yourself out of poverty. But whatever this is, again, this will be guided with the High Priestess and the Sun. The universe wishes to, it's literally like the universe is hovering on the sidelines, waiting to gift you with something that you need and desire. And it will be something that is like really bugging you. It's like your nemesis, okay? So this is what I'm seeing in your reading. But you need to change the thinking and release the thoughts that block you, or the thoughts that leave you stuck, because the universe and your guides can't support you and offer you this if you are not available to receive it. This is your reading, pile 2. I'm so sorry that there's been things that have left you, pushed you to the point where your head is full of this, full of the can'ts and all that stuff. But this reading is really, really honouring that you can change this. I mean, if you feel that you are really positive and there's nothing in your mind, this may not, about this may not be the right reading for you, my beautiful souls, because it's very specific. But I think truly, if you can shift your thoughts, then this week you'll see some kind of an opening, either in love and relationship, or in some other, whatever your nemesis is. I'm seeing the opening this week for you, because that's what we are asking about in the next 7 days. But it comes down to you bringing your own mind back into balance. Pile 2. Thank you for being here. This is your reading. This feels as if the universe is literally waiting to bless you. So please be open to receive. My dearest souls, thank you for being here. My heart is with you. Thank you for liking and sharing and subscribing. Don't forget to press the little bell icon if you want to make sure you never miss a reading. Thank you for being here. Tons and tons and tons of love. Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. I'm loving the energy of this card, Kick Up Your Heels, and 2 hearts, one inside the other, and the blank rune. I mean, wow. So I'm saying this and this. I think we're just taking off the top for you today. Okay, I wonder what that means. Just take off. Yeah, kick up your heels. Off you go. Take it from the top. That's the kind of energy actually around. I'm also seeing this one. Yeah, take it from the top. That's what they do when you sing, isn't it? When you're going to be singing something. Let's draw your tarot cards as well, or draw some of your cards. We'll maybe draw more. Okay, I'm seeing these 2, and these 3. We may draw more. Okay, pile 3. What is it that you need to hear now? Breath, I always struggle to say this, pneuma, ash, and copper. That's a very, very interesting combination of cards. You have Cancer, immerse, Scorpio, investigate. This is about being present in the moment. Excuse me. Yeah, this is about being present in the moment, being available and open to possibility, immersing yourself in the here and now. We have the Hierophant and the Star. Okay. We then have the King of Wands, we have the Three of Wands, we have the Nine of Cups, we have the Four of Wands. This is fab. We've got the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Swords. This is pretty cool, I've got to say, pile 3. This is like really cool. Yeah, this is inviting you to literally celebrate where you are right now. It's like you're doing something and it's like pause for breath. Stay committed, stay on the pathway you're on. But pause for breath. Allow yourself to navigate. Sort of knowing that you don't have to rush at this. There's something here that can grow organically. There's something here that can flourish. Some aspect of you and your life. Something can really, really grow. For some of you, this could be about love. We have two hearts, a heart within a heart. We have Copper, which is, we have Venus here. This is about love coming into a space of possibility. Ash is interesting because this sometimes speaks about grieving. I'm going to read to you from this book. Let's see what we can find. 25. Here we go. Kick up your heels. Now is the time to dance, celebrate. If you have a particular achievement or success, you are invited to take the time to enjoy it rather than hurrying on towards the next goal. Indulge the joy you have created for yourself. If there is no specific event to celebrate, this moment invites you to remember that in any given instance, you can dance for sovereignty or hustle for approval. Hustle creates anxiety and stress as you try to please everyone. Dance is birthed from knowing your deservedness and embodying your inherent worth. When you align with that worth, your life becomes increasingly buoyant. As Rumi said, when you do things from your soul, you feel a river moving in you, a joy. That joy insists you kick up those heels. We have this hair of fertility. So, let us really sit with your energy. We see signposts here in the Three of Wands. This is a turning point. It's showing the way. Something can move forwards. The Nine of Cups is about joy, contentment, happiness, particularly within relationship. The Four of Wands is a card of commitment sometimes, as is the Hierophant. Now, whether this is love, for some of you it could be, especially with two hearts, or it's love of something, or even love of yourself. What I feel is you are being asked to approach something organically, not to rush it. Like enjoy it, savor every moment, allow it to unfold like a breath. And for some of you, it may be that you are emerging after a period of loss or grief, and you may either be trying to rush into something as we do sometimes when something new comes in and it's like, oh, yes, marvellous. Just want to rush into this because it helps to move us on from the loss or the grief or whatever was going on. For some of you, there may even be a reticence, like, I don't want to go there again. I don't want to experience loss again. But I feel this is really saying, well, the key here is to welcome this into your life and allow it to grow bit by bit. Like, savor every minute. It's like cherishing every millimeter of the journey, letting it unfold. Make a commitment to discovery rather than a commitment to, I want this to be permanent. Make a commitment to discovery and find out and love every second of it. It's like dance the dance. Don't stress over it. Don't sweat the small stuff. Treasure every moment of the small stuff. Really allow. There's something here that I think it has promise here. We've got the Ace of Wands, we've got the King of Wands and the Queen of Swords. So we've got a king and a queen. We've got the star. I mean, this is beautiful. Isn't it interesting? Look at this with copper showing up. And even the star card looks like she's holding a copper pot. And there we have, this beautiful North Star, this guiding light. Now the Hierophant is interesting because it is about tradition, sometimes about commitment, sometimes indicates marriage. I do feel there is something that, I think your first and most immediate message that you need to hear now is that it is absolutely safe to commit to something, but that you need to commit to the discovery of it and let it grow organically and find out how amazing it can be through finding out, rather than trying to predict how it might be. And also rather than trying to or as we naturally do when we meet a new situation or a new person or something moves to the next level, we often go back to past experiences and we're fearful that something could repeat itself. You're in a space of absolute possibility with the blank rune. The blank rune is like this amazing space of infinite possibility. It's like the infinite possibility that sits in the unknowable future. I love this rune. It's like a pregnant pause. But whilst we enter a pregnant pause, an awful lot is happening. It's like this 9-month period of gestation in a pregnancy, and then something can be birthed. And something is growing all of the time. Just because it's not out in the world, it doesn't mean that it's not growing and that it won't be real. Something needs to be able to be cherished, loved, discovered, investigated. Immerse yourself in it. But immersion in something doesn't mean a commitment for life sort of thing. Immersion means a commitment to loving every second of the discovery. This is your message. So let's, this is really saying, don't hold back, kick up your heels, love every moment, sing, dance. But don't assume that you know how it's going to work out. It's like dive in and discover what that water feels like. Let's, whatever this is for you, whatever this is, let's find out about the week ahead for you, my lovely, lovely pile threes. I'm seeing these 4, and this one, and that one, and definitely that one, and definitely that one. We have the King of Swords, okay, the week ahead. So we have the King of Swords, we have the 5 of Swords, we have the 10 of Cups, we have the 6 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, the 7 of Swords, the 2 of Wands, and the Page of Wands. So this is the week ahead as we are being shown it. Okay. Right. So if we think about enjoying the journey, with the Five of Swords, I do wonder if there is someone in your world who would, curiously enough, I don't know, maybe want to hold you back. This is very interesting. Your reading is saying there is something here that you could, this space of possibility, love coming into your world, love of yourself, love of a project, love of someone, whatever it may be. The Five of Swords, I almost feel like this, there's an energy around you. So there's this place of amazing possibility. You've got the Ten of Cups sitting here. You've got the Six of Pentacles. I mean, these are lovely cards. Interesting, look. You know, we've got the little scales here. I sort of almost like feel like this is something you deserve. You deserve happiness. Okay? That's really coming through here. You know, whatever this happy family would be, that, you know, this is the happy ever after card, sometimes it's referred to. So whatever your happy ever after would be, I feel like with the, I almost feel like there's somebody else or some people around you who might have an investment in keeping you as you are. Perhaps that's why we've also got the Ash. It could also be historically that your previous experiences are keeping you where you are. But I do actually feel that there could be somebody who would sort of have like a bit of an ulterior motive to hold you back in something. It would be a bit like if you were, I don't know, if you were living in a situation where people benefited from your contribution. You're a giving, loving person, and people really benefit from the fact that you give to them all the time, but actually this could be an opportunity for you to receive. And for sure, there's no need to rush into it, but you're sort of being asked to make a commitment to discovering whether or not it could be perfect or amazing for you. And there's lots of signs here that say this could be really good. You know, there's a liberation about kicking up your heels, a release from something. And yet, it's as if there are people who somehow are happier if you stay as you are, somehow. Now, I'm not sure why that is or what that's about, but I do feel that, you know, you've got this lovely pocket of energy surrounded by something that feels heavier. Maybe that is what's holding you back from embracing this. I think with the King of Swords as well, this is a mind energy. And you also have the Queen here. I wonder whether some of this is your own fear of how people will see you if you move on. It would be like, I mean, for example, this is a bit of a random example, but let's say you had experienced a bereavement. Let's say you are a widow or a widower, and you know the family, your extended family from your former partner is, you know, you're very, very close to them, and you're fearful that if you move on and find happiness with someone else, that somehow this would be a real challenge for them. I mean, actually the reality is they might just want you to be happy, but you constantly think about it, you're worrying about it. You know, in which case you might need to sort of, you know, investigate those thoughts. There's something here there where there is an energy, and it either is genuinely somehow there's an investment in either someone or you yourself, almost like being fearful of stepping forwards. And again, it could be that historically, I mean, if you'd had a relationship, let's say this was a relationship, because for many of you it is, I think, you know, whatever kind of relationship that may be, but you know, we've got two hearts joining together here. This space of potential. You know, if some of you have been in relationships where you've given more than you've received, for example, and you're fearful of that being out of balance, and so you're anxious about embarking and committing to a new connection, even though you really, really want it. You're fearful of it in case it becomes a burden. Well, actually investigate, dive in and discover. This is saying make a commitment to the discovery, and then you'll know. You won't know without actually kind of dipping your toe in the water and going for it. And you don't have to dive in and commit fully. It's like as I said, it's dive in and commit to the process of discovery. The Two of Wands is very much a card of getting started, passion, creativity, loads and loads and loads of potential. Kind of get out there and don't be afraid to be seen. If there's something you want to test the waters with, a project, but you are fearful, you know you kind of love it. It feels like your heart's desire, but you really don't know whether this could possibly work. Well, get out there and start testing the waters. Don't assume you know exactly how it's going to turn out, but you're only going to find out by testing the waters to see where it might land. You've got to be visible. As long as it would be like if you have an idea for a book, a project, let's say, and you want to find a publisher, well, you might be terrified of rejection. But at the same time, if you overburden yourself with thoughts of rejection to the point where you never, ever, ever send that manuscript out, then you're never actually going to find out. So you've kind of got to take the plunge and then discover. And even if you have to apply to more than one, your reading is really saying embrace the journey. And do so with passion and excitement. There's potential here. We've got the Two of Wands and the Page of Wands. The page is loaded with passion, excitement, vitality. Let's get something going. The Two of Wands, it's spark, it's energy. Two of Wands, you need to get out there and be seen. Look at the way she's dancing on a stage. Show this to you. Hold this up. Can you see that? Look at her dancing on the stage. You've got to be in it to win it. Yeah, you've got to be visible. You've got to make the effort to commit to being visible or being available if this is something you really want. But I think there is the possibility of something very real for you that could be very joyous, literally, that you will love. Like a heart-to-heart connection of some sort. And the only way you are going to discover this or invite it into your world fully is to commit to literally discovering. And this is what your reading is all about. Now, what we see this week, I think, is almost like an invitation to reach out in some way, shape or form. To start to initiate this. To own what you really want with the Ten of Cups as well. And in your mind with the King of Swords. To get really clear and own what you want. Be prepared to own it. Let's just get a little bit more information for you, Pile 3, about how the week unfolds. This is really about taking ownership of something, moving something forwards. Look at this. You have the Six of Wands, which is a card of commitment, public success, visible success. Interestingly, in this particular pack, we see a marriage, which is fascinating, isn't it? That we've got this and we've got the Four of Wands, which is also an engagement. We've got the Hierophant, which indicates commitment. So I would really say make a commitment. Be so clear with the Ace of Swords as to what you want. And with the Four of Swords, then take it slowly. Allow it to unfold. The Four of Swords is a beautiful, meditative, contemplative energy. Allow yourself, it's like commit, be clear, and then practice the art of allowing while celebrating every single little millimetre of what unfolds. Pile 3, this is your reading. Commit, be clear, and love the journey. Take your time. Beautiful souls, thank you so much for being here. I wish you an amazingly wonderful week of discovery. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking and sharing and subscribing. Don't forget to press the little bell icon if you want to make sure you never miss a reading. Thank you so, so much for all your comments and for sharing in the super thanks and for everything that you do to support me and the channel. Beautiful souls, tons and tons and tons of love.